What's happening? It is time for another Accountability Success Circle Success Quickie.
Quickie.
Yeah, this one is number 86. And we are going to be talking about money.
Money.
Yeah, so let us know if you're watching the replay or watching live, because we are about to go live in 3, 2, 1.
Loving this music. It's like total vibing.
Right? It's all funky. All right, cool.
Hi, Gary. Where are you? You look like you're in a different place.
I went back in time. No, I am in Santa Barbara because I'm going to be attending the Epic Conference.
Woohoo!
Thank you for doing that, because yes,
oh,
there it is. I don't have all the bells and whistles that I used to have, so it is all good. All right, so as the title suggests, we are going to be talking about money, because that is our topic at the Accountability Success Circle at our home base. That is our topic, our theme for the month, our focus theme for the month. And we had an amazing webinar with our friend Kai Dickens. We'll put a link to that in the chat in just a moment. But to give you, just some tips, just the tip, a few quick things to focus on. We're going to be talking about 3 money tips to allow you to spend on your terms. So, April, you ready? Should we just dive into it?
Yeah.
All
right.
Ready? Cool. All right. Numero uno is all about knowing your non-negotiables. April, kick it off.
Yeah. So in terms of, obviously when you have money, you need to spend it. But in order to know that you're not just throwing money away in a bad way, know the things that are super, super important to you, that no matter what, you will spend the money on. And some of this stuff is, the essentials. Like, you need to pay for food to eat. You need to pay for shelter and all the things that require fixing in your house in order to live comfortably. And transportation. How do you get from point A to point B? By train, plane, train, automobile. Is that the phrase?
How
I
it
don't
is.
know. All of those things, but then also identifying the non-negotiables when it comes to your priorities and values. So sometimes, you think about the fact, one of the non-negotiable things for me is that if I have a goal that is not easy for me to motivate myself to do, I have to pay somebody to help enforce that I do it. So for other people, that could look at, like, I need to go to the gym, and I need to pay for a gym membership because my fitness is important, or I have to pay for a running coach so that I keep running, because I swear to you, I would not be running if I didn't have somebody telling me day by day what to do. And, it could also be that Starbucks that you have on your walk to the office every morning. It could be that, and that just is your non-negotiable. That's your happy place. So think about the things that bring you joy, because once you are able to identify and allocate those expenses to your non-negotiables, then you kind of know what you have left to kind of play around with and be a little bit more discretionary. Gary, do you have anything that you want to add to this tip?
Yeah. Planning is crucial here. We didn't say it was going to be easy. We just said these are the tips that are going to help you get success so that you can live on your terms. And in our webinar number 44, Kai was talking about having there's a number of very specific savings and checkings accounts that allow you to create sub accounts. That way you can slide those spending for very various topics over there so that you can make sure that those things are covered. So yeah, so that is crucial. So April sort of hit the nail on the head for number one, but this is a good segue into number two. And number two is all about knowing what brings you joy. Because once you
Ah.
have the non-negotiables, um, then what are the things that bring you joy that, yes, those things show up, boom, you're going to get it. Like April mentioned, what if it is Starbucks? We're not ones to say you need to cut these things out. We know that that does not work. When you deprive yourself of the stuff that you enjoy, you get resentment, and sometimes you just go off the rails and end up spending it anyway. So as intelligent, amazing adults like we are, why not have that considered? Have that bucket in. So I know for me, there are a lot of stuff that bring me joy, but I'm all about experiences. So I have money set aside, so if the opportunity shows up, I'm like, oh yeah, hey, let's go to a show. Let's do that. Boom. I'm not feeling guilty that I'm dipping into the non-negotiables. So what is it for you? That's the question. Let us know, let us know in the chat about that.
Yeah.
So
For me,
April.
if you know what brings me joy as a tangible thing, I'm all about
Oh wow.
experiences too, but bubble tea is my addiction, and I probably take, more of it than I should, both for health reasons and for my wallet, but it does bring me joy, and so when I am feeling good, that is a great way for me to reward myself. Um, and then, really some of the other things that bring me joy is just like, making investments in my kids' education and growth, and so looking for opportunities to expand their horizons, give them, more exposure, so travel and um, like just today I was doing some research on fencing. My son, my oldest son wants to, I guess, jab at people with swords or something. So,
Yeah, why not?
but the fact that he is, showing interest on his own, that brings me joy and I want to support that. So, making sure that that those discretionary funds are being used to things that make you happy, then you feel like you're more in control, which is what we're all talking about. And maybe oh, and one last thing, we also had another money webinar last year where we had that with David Delisle, and he is the author of this awesome book, and his book says only buy the awesome stuff. So just make sure that you're thinking about, like, is this awesome? If it's not awesome, then why am I buying it? Give yourself that opportunity to reflect. But yeah, I think that is a good segue too into our third point, right, Gary?
Yes. And so what happens when you're in a rough spot where you're just like, I don't know, should I buy it? Should I not? A lot of times our emotions take over, and then we end up doing things, and then when we reflect back and we're like, oh snap, probably shouldn't have done that. So again, as a way to allow you to live on your terms, let's take care of our future selves by having, and this goes into number three, being able to flow chart your money decisions. So when you're in a like a sane place, where you can think logically, start to think of, you know, these things, understand what brings you joy. Start to have like almost like a little, a flow chart, so that when you're in a situation where you have to make a decision, something that is not, that comes up out of the blue, you can, take the emotion out of it and just go, all right, cool, boom, 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 boom. Some of the, things, that you can say, well, first off, do I have enough money?
Mhm.
Is this part of the awesome stuff? Does it bring me joy? Ask yourself, am I operating from a place of FOMO, scarcity? All right,
Yeah.
nope, I'm not. All right, cool. Um, you know, is this something that is just trying to get me to buy now, without giving me a chance to really think about it? You know, if I were to look at this a week later, a month later, a year later, is it still relevant? These are things that you should consider when you have like this flow chart. But if you have this set up in advance, when these opportunities arise, you go boop, 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 boop. All right, yep, checks out. Boom. Here we go. Let's do it.
Yeah, I love this. And I think that, when it comes to this, I mean, there's always going to be times where people are going to show you things um that may be of benefit to you. And it's not to knock, those salesmen or whatever. They're just trying to share a product that may or may not, and you can choose to say yes or say no. But especially for those of you who um tend to want to say yes to things that you probably shouldn't, um these types of questions, and I think that the biggest key one of all of these questions is, are you able to make a decision that's not in haste? Because there's always going to be an opportunity. And yeah, maybe like there's time sensitive things when it comes to, um, you know, special deals or purchasing, but that thing is always going to be there. And if it is really meant to be, and it's something that you're thinking about, it doesn't matter what time, what time of day, when you need it most is probably the best time to buy. Or at least then sit there and stalk the pricing trends and see if you can get in on the deals. Just like if you watch the cycle of joining the ASC, we have different deals throughout the year, just as a side note. Um, and then if you're ever feeling buyer's remorse, always don't knock yourself and beat yourself down for not being able to, or, control yourself, or restrain yourself from making a purchase that's not in on your terms. But use that as an opportunity to reflect and adjust your questions. You might want to add, like, oh my gosh, why did I buy that thing? I didn't just buy one, I bought 370, and now I have to get rid of 370 and use them, and I'm just wasting my money away. So maybe I don't purchase products that have, too many options of the same thing that I wanna buy. So, that's one learning lesson for me.
Yes.
Um, yeah, so those are some tips to think about how to spend on your own terms. I always want you to think about coming from a place of, when you put a dollar or 2 or 100 or whatever that is towards something in some sort of money/energetic exchange, I want you to feel like you're saying hell yes to that thing, right?
Hell yes.
So yeah, but this is just a quick way, we got to talk about money. Money is our focus in the ASC this month, and we just want to give you some tips
Just the tip.
on just the tips on how to do that. And if you are loving what we're talking about, the conversation is continuing in the ASC. Come join us. Check us out at accountabilitysuccesscircle.com. We have a free trial for 2 months if you sign up now, so that you can just check it out. We are so dedicated and dedicated to helping you create a plan for your life that lets you live on your own terms, and help you execute on that in all areas of life. So yeah, come join us. And Gary, I hope you have fun in Santa Barbara. Thank
Right?
you. Thank you for some quickie time. And we're
Yeah.
excited to share all of this yummy goodness with all of you. So we'll see you on the next one. Can't believe
On the
we've done
flip
86
side,
of these.
86. And like that, we're going to 86 as in get out of here. And we'll see y'all on the flip side. So
Woo.
see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.